Alright, we are back for another Dragon Maze draft. Unfortunately, due to some technical errors, you missed the first few picks here, but took Aetherling as the first pick out of a pretty mediocre pack, to be honest. Took Beetleform Mage over, let's see, there was another, oh, Blast of Genius. Just because I think that it's better to cut the Gatecrash guilds in the first pack, and then give take over an Opal Lake Gatekeepers, the blue Gatekeepers. Um, because, well, this is probably better. I don't really know that for sure, but it seems reasonable to assume that. Alright, what is this? 2-4 for 6. Yeah, I don't have. I mean, even copying this is not really that exciting to me. I'm just going to take Gel Sphinx. It's by far the best card in this pack. It works well with this, and it's splashable in the blue-green deck and is very good with it, to be honest. Uh, this pack is like exciting. There's a Wart Physique, there's a Gatekeepers, which I'm going to take. It's a reasonable card at least, and it cuts green a little bit at least. I've managed to not send very many green signals so far. Ooh, geez. This card's very good. Or at least it's reasonable. I've been blown out by it a couple of times. Yeah, I mean, this pack is not very exciting to me. I don't really want to go into another color, but I also don't want to take something like a Gatekeepers over it. We're just going to take the rare and hope for the best. Ooh, Species Order. That's a really nice pickup, actually. This card is very good in, well, the Simic deck. Look at that, the colors it is. Who knew? Alright. Who knows, if we can get enough gates, it's actually very good with the Gatekeepers, too. And just having a 6/6 is. This guy is giant. I'm hoping to gorge on a variety of species in this draft. Let's see, so there's an Azorius Cluestone, which is probably going to be my pick. I think it's. I mean, I'd rather have the mana fixing first than the okay but mediocre potential 2-for-1. Nothing else in this pack excites me. Oh, wow. That tabled? That surprises me a little bit. Uh, I don't know if it's actually better than just taking another. I'm just going to take Maze Glider. I think I would much rather try and be in white instead of black. In this case, ugh. And I don't really need either of these. I'll just take a Simic Cluestone. I may end up playing it, maybe. And immediate regrets. Although, I guess taking Selesnya Cluestone here would be fine. Though it might be. I don't know. I don't know if Cluestones really send a signal. I was thinking originally that taking Cluestone, the Simic one, might be better for signaling purposes, but I don't know that anyone's going to take a Cluestone as a signal. Alright, so pack 2 has to be good, but at least I do have 2 reasonable bombs. Sure. We've got plenty of 6-drops. That's also very clear here. Oh, forgot. Ah, dang it was right there. Yeah, I'll take a Memory Phantom. We can regenerate and mend plenty of creatures with just a touch. Say that because we have two of them. Wow, this pack has almost nothing that I'm looking for. I mean, Dinrova Horror is... Well, Dinrova Horror, Night of Obligation, and Zertos Wine are the best cards. What am I most likely to play? I guess I'll take the Knight. I'm more likely to play it than Zertos Wine, and at this point I think I'm more likely to play it than the Horror. Ugh, wow. Alright, so options are Ivy Lane Denizen, Sage's Row Denizen, Agoraphobia, another 6-drop, which is not really an option to be honest. I think I'm just going to take Agoraphobia. It's a cheap, decent way to slow down the game, which unfortunately it looks like I'm going to need to. This guy. Well, yeah, there's actual nothing else in this pack, so I'm just going to take a little Vaz. Let's see where this goes. Alright, Crocodile finally a nice pickup. One I'm pretty excited about. I'm a big fan of this card. I suppose that I could audible into Bug and potentially pay that Gaze of Granite. Might have been hiding things a little prematurely, I guess. So yeah, right now it's Gaze of Granite and Lavaz, two insanely black intense cards versus Sphinx and Knight. Which honestly, I would rather play Sphinx over both of those cards, even if I don't splash the Knight. Just because splashing this guy is not the best idea. Alright, Frilled Oculus is certainly a good card, and I'm happy to take it here. Not a whole lot else to be said about this pack. I like Burning Tree Emissary, but clearly that's not happening here. Maybe Clinging in Enemies or Aetherized Wheels? Maybe? And we're finally rewarded with a Simic Manipulator, which is just absurd. I'm very happy to take it. Oh, it's worked surprisingly well with Give. Randomly steal a 3 or 4 power creature on turn 4 or 5. That seems sweet. Huh. Anyway, nice thing is that for my evolve guys, I do have a bunch of things that can evolve them. Here, it's really between the Guild Gate and Mind Eye Drake. I think I'm just going to take the Gate. I don't think I'm going to be short on playables, and I'm more than likely going to need the fixing, as much as I like Mind Eye Drake. I've got enough defensive guys, and I've already got a bunch of flyers and evasive things. I guess by that I mean I have 3. Giving this flying with Maze Glider seems sweet, though. I hope I get to do that. It evolves as he eats some sort of flying species. Alright, so there's a Greenside Watcher, Alpha Authority. This card's actually okay. I don't think it's better than just taking Greenside Watcher. I also only have really the one removal spell that I'm guaranteed to play. So there's an argument for Spell Rupture, but I think that I just want the 2-drop. Even if I don't end up with a ton of gates, he's still reasonable. And I hope that I don't have to play this, but I will if I need to. guy is just such a powerhouse. I mean, you have to survive to 7 mana for him to really just take over the game, but once you get to that point, oof, he can take over the game. If I have 10 mana, I can cast Gaze of Granite for 6 and exile this guy. Ooh. Alright, I'm pretty happy just taking Sage's Rodez in here. Sapphire Drake is good and all, but I really do want the early defensive things. I've got enough high drops. Who knows, maybe I can mill him out with Denizen plus Specie Gorger. And this pick really doesn't matter. Take the random playable. Last thoughts. You really do not have enough that you can think about. Maybe bring in Alpha Authority against a removal heavy deck. I'm just not playing Last Thoughts. Whoops. Clearly opening really well. This is the best card ever. We're going to search the city for a better one. We're going to search this pack for a better one at the very least. So there's Ultimate Price and Stab Wound, which are both better than pretty much everything else in this pack. There's a Knightly Valor, which I am a big fan of in this format. There's Tower Drake, which is epically unexciting. It really does come down to either Knightly Valor or Stab Wound. And at this point, I have more white fixing than blue. Or than black, sorry. And I think that it's more likely that I play Knightly Valor. I think. Ooh, Skymark Rock. Okay, so there's definitely a reason to be blue-white. And this pack is pretty bad. I am a fan of Explosive Impact and the Locust, but yeah, that's just not happening here. I'm just going to take Doorkeeper. It's a decent defensive guy. Does some work. Here, let's see, so let's hide these. I'm not necessarily unhappy taking Hussar Patrol. It's either that or Mizium Skin, and Mizium Skin's more likely to wheel. Dramatic Rescue's sweet. So is Hover Barrier. So I've got my defenders. Maybe I can just mill them out with Doorkeeper. Got a Hover Barrier at this guy, the Doorkeeper. Do I have any others? Oh, and the Clinging and Enemies. Yeah. I'm pretty happy just taking Paralyzing Grasp here. It's a mediocre but mediocrely decent removal spell. We'll put it that way. So it looks like I don't want to play that being Greenside Watcher. And this is a complete miss. What does this do? Yeah, I don't see any horizons in our future. I'm just going to take Rites of Reaping because I do not want to play against it. Looks like the green is actually going to be a fairly light splash. Mostly just a blue deck. It says 26 cards. I don't really want to play Murmuring Phantom. So I need to cut one more from this, which will probably just be Clinging and Enemies. I don't mind playing Doorkeeper and Hover Barrier. Both of those are solid. But I'm far less excited by an Enemies. Alright, Tower Drake Wield, that's a good sign. It's a nice pickup. Although, thinking about it, maybe cancel is just double blue versus 2-1 flyer. Okay, convinced myself there. I'm not going to play any of this, so we're going to take Trestle Troll, because it's the best card against me. Yeah, sure. Take the creature, I guess. Downsize is not an unreasonable trick. Oh, we're getting there. Heroes Reunion. We're going to gain that 7 life. Alright, so I still have to cut one more card out of this. It's probably just the Gatekeepers. Only having one gate makes them pretty bad. I have enough defensive guys that I'm not too worried about it. Alright, so this is the final list that I'm submitting. It's pretty much an even split between green or blue. Yeah, green and white. With blue being significantly higher in the number of sources that I'm playing. Anyway, we'll be back for round 1.